10 breakout stars to watch out for in AEW in 2021. Hi, welcome to SCW here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comments section. Please like and share the video as well. Going to be talking about the 10 breakout stars to watch out for in AEW this year. Now, of course, single stars count as one. We've got the men's and women's division. Tag teams will count as one option. And even some stables will count as one option. Now, the reason I will do that, of course, there's anticipated there will be AEW Trios Championships, so I will be talking about that when it comes to the Trios later in the video. But let's start then with the first one on my list, and it's coming from the inner circle. It is Wardlow, the big beast himself. Wardlow has got everything in his locker. He's a great big man. He can wrestle very, very well, can throw people around. He's kind of got a cross between a Brock Lesnar kind of style, and he reminds me a bit of, Dave Bautista as well, kind of starting in that bodyguard kind of role, that big, heavy, that will eventually break off and probably go and do his own thing and become a main event at top of the card and a future AEW World Champion. I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see it, and if AEW don't do it with Wardlow, I personally think they'll be foolish. I think they've got a heck of a talent on their hands. Now, of course, Wardlow is in the inner circle right now. He recently beat Jake Hager, which I think is a big victory for him to start off the year. He has had previous friction with MJF as well. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point this year Wardlow does break off and goes on to his own. It certainly feels that there would be a natural feud to get there, and he could be pushed in as a big, strong, muscular babyface. Of course, we've got a lot of big guys that are heels in the company, so I think Wardlow has that potential to be the babyface of that, and I think he's got a potential, like I say, to be a big deal in AEW. Next on that list, and it's coming again from the inner circle, if it was to disband, I think this will be the year of Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara last year was on a great roll, and of course things kind of went a little bit disjointed with the speaking out movement. Sammy did make his mistakes and he was punished for them, but he's been brought back and steadily has come back into, programming and storylines as well. Of course, he had the not so great feud with Matt Hardy. Of course, that was due to some unfortunate circumstances. But with looking at things this year, it does look like it could be a much brighter year for Sammy Guevara. With MJF coming in with Wardlow into the inner circle, there looks to be friction there already. Sammy Guevara seems to be treated as if he's the odd one out, that maybe MJF is fighting for Sammy's role to be the prodigy of Chris Jericho. Maybe that's the apple of his eye, and probably sees Sammy and feels a bit jealous of that role. I can see Sammy at some point breaking off and being a big babyface in the company. I think Guevara will have a great year, and a lot of these breakout stars last year, you look at Orange Cassidy, MJF, they kind of got those breakout moments, and I think Sammy Guevara this year will have that big breakout moment. I think he will go on to be a big deal in AEW as we go towards the end of 2021. Another one of those up-and-coming talents, and Darby Allin probably features in that lineup as well, that's had those big moments. One waiter for his is Jungle Boy, in my opinion. I think Jungle Boy will actually get his moment in 2021, whether it's perhaps the TNT Championship, maybe a Tag Team Championship. I think we will see a championship reign for Jungle Boy during this year. Of course, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, of course, has been heavily pushed in AEW to this point, but he's never really got past that sort of opening sort of act. I feel that Jungle Boy, there's certainly a big deal in there, a big superstar waiting to break out, and I think Jungle Boy will have an exceptional 2021. Next on the list, arguably already has had some breakout moments in the company, but I think the biggest one is yet to come and will make him a permanent main eventer. I'm talking about Hangman Adam Page. Now, of course, Hangman has been fantastic so far in AEW, but it always seems that when he gets to that big moment, that championship moment, he lost to Chris Jericho when he could have been the first AEW World Champion. He lost in the tournament in the finals to Kenny Omega to get a championship opportunity. It just feels when it comes to that last moment, things go wrong for Hangman Adam Page, and he seems to fall down the pecking order. It seems to hit him hard. I do believe that this year, Hangman is not just going to become a regular face that you see on Dynamite in a nice, fun role each and every week, puts on great matches. I think we're going to get the main event that is Hangman Adam Page. I think he is going to be the guy that will eventually dethrone Kenny Omega. That is my prediction I'm saying for you right here, right now. And if you thought he was a breakout star before that moment, he will be a permanent fixture in the main event. We will say that this will be the real breakout moment, that moment that Hangman Page will define his career, the moment he becomes AEW World Champion. Let's move on to the women's division, and arguably the person that should have been the face of the women's division. I'm talking about the Doctor, Britt Baker. I think that this is going to be her year. 2021 for me. She's not just got her own talk show, going to be coming onto Dynamite starting this week. She also, I think, will be the one that will dethrone Hikaru Shida and become the AEW Women's Champion. I think she was supposed to do it probably as a babyface, probably be that person that was the face of the women's division and push it going forward. It's not quite worked out that way. And Britt Baker, she was on her way to having a role last year, becoming a heel, but then she got injured, didn't she? And she was out for a long time, a number of months. She's sort of been filling her way back in since coming back into AEW, but now she's got a promising rivalry going on with Thunder Rosa, a match that I'm really looking forward to seeing, which hopefully will be in some point in the near future. I can see Britt Baker coming through that, and I think that at that point, that's where Baker can start looking towards the Women's Championship, perhaps even as early as Revolution. Next on the list will be Anna Jay from the Dark Order, because I tell you what, she is a rookie, but damn, I'm impressed with what I see. Every time she gets in the ring, she gets better. And I tell you what, Anna Jay, I wouldn't be surprised with another year, maybe even it's premature in this list, maybe another 2 years, that she is going to be a top performer, perhaps not just in AEW, I can see it in women's wrestling, period. Anna Jay, there's definitely something there. She's one to keep an eye on, definitely. Will she be women's champion this year? We'll have to wait and see, but certainly I think there's potential for breakout moments for her. Certainly her, along with Ty Conti, both very impressive in the ring. Just looking for that breakout moment. I can see it coming, and Anna Jay is the one I've picked here of the two, because Anna Jay, for me, she's been in the ring less time, and I can just see star power in there. I think that there's a big future in there for Anna Jay. Let's go for the tag teams next then, shall we? And let's go for the Acclaimed. I tell you what, for a John Cena gimmick is what keeps being thrown at them. These guys are very good. They're very young. They've got a lot of potential behind them, and they're finding a way onto TV. They've definitely got the character work nailed down, and they're pretty good in ring as well. They've already had a main event on Dynamite, of course, against the Young Bucks for the Tag Team Championships. Their role this year is to remain on Dynamite in mid-card feuds. If they can do that as a young team, they'll push themselves back up that pecking order, and by the end of next year, not only will they be in a championship match, perhaps they'll be not just contenders, maybe we could be looking at future tag team champions. The future is certainly bright for AEW. There's a lot of bright young talent, and particularly in the tag team division, and some tag teams are breaking up. I think that this is something where the Acclaimed are really going to benefit, and I can see for years to come them being a multi-time AEW World Tag Team Champions. Will it happen in the short term? No, but definitely in the long term I can see it, and I think if they keep themselves on TV now, the future is very, very bright. Next, another tag team to look out for is Top Flight. Damn, they're so good for so young. They're like, what, 21 years old or something like that? Very early 20s. They've got a lot of years ahead of them. But they're so crisp in their movement, the way they can dive over ropes. They look like they are like the Young Bucks Motor City Machine Guns tag team of what we will see in 10 years and say, damn, Top Flight is one of the best tag teams in the world. You can see it now. They've definitely got it down. They've got that sort of babyface tag team thing going as well, like you'd see with the Young Bucks, perhaps the Rockers, those sort of tag teams you see back in those old days. Top Flight, they're not really there yet on the personality side, maybe not seen so much on the mic work, but because they've kind of got that natural babyface thing going on with that natural high-flying style, they might not need it. They could be that team, which could be like, you know, as we've mentioned there, the Young Bucks and the Motor City Machine Guns of their generation. I certainly could see it with Top Flight, and definitely somewhere down the line I can see them as tag team champions as well. Next, let's look at the trios, and it's always a bit questionable to do trios because of the fact that this is a breakup style. It certainly adds more numbers to the list, but I do this mainly because of the trios championships, and I've gone with Team Taz as I think they could be the team that could win the championships first, and they're my favourite trio in AEW. Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks, should be on this list just on his own. The potential of Ricky Starks is insane. It's incredible. Literally, Ricky Starks has been compared to a young Rocky Maivia. And I tell you what, Rocky Maivia didn't go on to do too badly, did he? Let's be honest here. Ricky Starks has shown so much potential since coming. Not only is he great in the ring and got those comparisons with Rocky Maivia, or The Rock, shall we say, he also is a fantastic promo. And he did good babyface work when he was part of NWA. But seeing him as part of Team Taz, wow, he's blowing everything out of the water. He's doing so well, and I can see Ricky Starks, if he's not a Trios champion, I can see him being a TNT champion. He certainly is the future. There is a mid-card and a main eventer waiting in Starks. He's certainly someone that, with the rocket on him, could really go straight to the top. But looking at this as well, Powerhouse Hobbs is another one. A great potential, a great powerhouse. I'm surprised he turned heel, but I love the fact he is a part of Team Taz. Hobbs, for me, is certainly another one of those guys that's got potential to be a future world champion. And Brian Cage, what can be said to him that hasn't been already? He is the machine. And Brian Cage, arguably to this point, hasn't been booked as well as he could have been in AEW. Certainly not since losing to John Moxley anyway in the middle of last year. But I think these guys as a trio are doing very, very well. You've got Taz, you've got his son a part of this as well. Like I say, definitely I can see a trios tag team champions during this year if those championships do come to fruition as heavily rumoured. And I certainly think as well that all three of them have got bright singles futures as well. I think Team Taz is going to become a big deal in 2021, and certainly they are a trio to look out for. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about Death Triangle. Pac already, needn't be said, he is already technically a breakout star in AEW and could be and should be towards that main event part of the picture. The Lucha Bros, on the other hand, have started well in AEW, but for me, they sort of faded for like a year. They weren't booked anywhere near as strong as they should have been, in my humble opinion. But I think now Death Triangle looks to be back. The pandemic, of course, ruined that trio thing to begin with. Death Triangle, to me, aren't the favourites to win the Trios Championships when they do come in. If it's a six-man, whatever they want to call those championship belts. Because, of course, when you look at the history of six-man tag team wrestling, it's been very popular in Lucha Libre, in that sort of Mexican style. So I wouldn't be surprised that AEW were to go with that history, that legacy, and put those belts with Phoenix and Penta to start off with Pac in that trio. I certainly think they have the potential to be the most dominant trio to begin with when it comes to that. And I do think as the year rolls on, if, say, they lose the belts then to maybe Team Taz, what a heck of a trios rivalry that would be, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there now. I could actually see Penta and Phoenix going actually as they should have been booked all along, either as tag team champions, the top tag team, or even as two big breakout single stars. So for me, this trio had to be put in together, but certainly when I look at Phoenix and Penta, I can see that it's going to be a bright 2021 for them, and I expect Death Triangle to become the six-man or trios tag team championships when they are introduced. But that is my 10 breakout stars to watch out for in AEW in 2021. Do you agree with me? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think will be the breakout star in 2021? I look forward to interacting with you in the comment section. If you like this video, then please hit the thumb up. Maybe subscribe as well. Hit the bell and set the notifications to all. Want to do more AEW videos in 2021? Perhaps as well, share it with a friend. Of course, word of mouth does go a long way, going towards 750 subscribers on the channel. Would love to hit that milestone. Of course, if you're a fan of all promotions, then why not check out some of my other content as well. Impact Wrestling, WWE, there are videos on there for that as well. And like I say, hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for checking out this video, and hope to see you on the channel once again soon. You've been watching SCW here on YouTube. Take care. I'll see you guys next time.